Hello, everyone. Thank you guys so much for spending time with us this morning. So as you can see, we were the video team, so a lot of our work was highly visual. So we're only going to talk for a couple minutes, and then we're going to show a couple videos, if that's all right with y'all. Okay? So first off, introductions. My name is Christopher Edmunds. I'm a photojournalist from Birmingham, Alabama, and I am working on my master's in journalism and focusing on science communication. So that's why this internship was a perfect fit.
And I'm Ellie Ellis. I grew up in Durango, Colorado, so got to come back to Colorado for the summer. And I have 1 year left of my undergraduate degree in geology and environmental analysis at Pitzer College in California.
All right, so to start things off, what have we done here? Our actual job titles are video interns, but it's a little bit misleading. It's all around media. We've done a lot of visual work. So our presentation is going to break it down into 3 basic areas that we worked in. One in photography, then graphic design, and then video production, and that's where we'll get to watch our movies. First off, in photography, a lot of the work that we did early on especially was documenting the internship programs that we have here at UNAVCO. So what we did is we traveled with the GLP and recess interns on the field trips. We also shot and documented some of the sessions that we did here at the UNAVCO campus. And we also documented our work at the farmers market when we unveiled all of our tabletop activities from the UPOP sessions. We also did some artsy photography along the way. We couldn't help ourselves.
And all of our photos, well, the best ones that we've selected are available on SmugMug, so the UNAVCO photo portal. And we also have plenty of other pictures. So if you want anything in particular, definitely ask us. We can probably get you that file.
Yeah, and part of that was a lot of what we did whenever we shot all these photos was we did a lot of metadata in creating a searchable archive. So we estimated that we shot about 6,000 exposures in the 8 weeks that we've been here. So what you guys are saying, yeah, and with, right, so and it was a lot. But basically what that means is if you guys do want photos for either posters or presentations, we're contributing to that archive that you guys will be able to pull from. And that was a big part of what we wanted to do. So moving on to the graphic design work that we got to do, this was really fun because my background is actually in print publication design, and Ellie got to learn a lot of the really cool programs that we use for this. So this was more of a fun project that wasn't in our initial goals, but when we found out that there was a calendar coming out and there were pages to fill, we got really excited for the chance to try something new. So what we've done is we've created these 2 infographics, one that is just a general explainer of what is geodesy, and it follows the logical flow of what questions people would normally have, starting with, don't we already know the Earth's shape and size, all the way down to what can we do with it. So we have that, and then Ellie designed the geodetic toolbox over here, which basically breaks down the uses and applications of all the really cool equipment that we get to use in geoscience, specifically geodesy.
And I'm hoping as a geoscientist, now that I have these skills, I can use these to make professional posters, but also give it this a little extra flair that you might not normally see in a professional poster. I'm really excited to take what I've learned this summer and apply it to my science and communicating it in a little different way than is normally done in science education. So.
One of the things we're really excited about with these 2 infographics is that they were both designed with a broad audience in mind. We designed these for people who are non-experts. This is the general public we're trying to reach here. So we're hoping both of these can be repurposed, maybe outside of the calendar as educational materials, maybe even standalone posters. So yeah, with that graphic design, this required us learning some new programs. That was a big skill that we got to add to our resumes was true graphic design for science communication. And now the big chunk of what our work was, the most time-consuming part, all the video production that we did. So we worked on several different video series, and the first one that we're going to talk about is the Geoscience Career Spotlight. This is a video series that's already on the UNAVCO YouTube channel. If you guys haven't seen it, you should watch them. They're fantastic. And the ones that we did, we interviewed Kevin Petty from Vizsla and Melissa Burt, who is at CSU in Fort Collins. So this involved us scheduling interviews with these people and actually setting up like a full film crew. We had 2 cameras on each of these, and we collected a ton of B-roll on site and also from our subjects themselves. And then we edited these into short, less than 5-minute videos that can be published on that YouTube channel. And we also created an entirely new template for these videos that includes a custom intro graphic and custom music as well. So that way now UNAFCO has its own branding to go along with this that's very unique.
And these are targeted towards kind of an undergraduate audience that's like trying to figure out their potential career in the geosciences, and we tried to highlight professionals that had kind of interesting career paths, maybe didn't take the direct route that most people would, and also show careers that are not in academics, because that's what's typically shown. All right, so I got to work on this series a little bit with our awesome recess interns. So this is a new series for UNAVCO's YouTube channel. We've called it the Geoscience Student Spotlight to kind of parallel the Geoscience Career Spotlight. So right now we're starting with just the recess interns, talking about their experiences in high school, their experiences as an undergrad, their experiences in the geosciences, to show a high school audience or an early undergraduate audience what you can do with geoscience in college. So we'll get to show you one of these in a second. We're going to show Annie's. That's one I just finished. Yeah.
And I'll take this time to give a big shout out to Ellie on this particular video series, because this was not on our original timeline. And Ellie pretty much single-handedly took the footage that Aisha shot whenever she was out traveling, visiting the interns, and turned it into 3 fully produced videos already. So big shout out to Ellie. Yeah, a lot of extra time and effort went into these, so great job on those. And the final video that we produced while we were here is this big impacts of geodesy video. Once again, this is targeting a broad audience, the non-experts, the people who are maybe they haven't even heard of geodesy. They want to know what it is. So what this is this started as just a concept from the two of us trying to figure out how we can illustrate geodesy in life. And it turned into this video that's based a lot on some of the other science YouTube channels that are very popular right now. And we went all the way from a concept and a storyboard to using green screen technology, which neither one of us had ever used before. And then also we have custom illustrations that were hand-drawn by Ellis herself. And yeah, so then we actually went through and edited the whole video and did custom animations. So the whole thing should move quickly and hit a bunch of different topics, all very interesting, and keep people engaged. And that's what we're looking for.
And I'll take this moment to give a shout out to Christopher. Well, if you have no experience with video production, it might not be easy to see how much work went into this video. But each time an object moves on screen, you'll see the video in a second, that is a keyframe that he has to establish to make that movement happen. So this took hours and hours of work, and he just took it on, learned new programs, new skills. Really impressive. So excited for you all to see it.
All right, so that's all the stuff that we've done over the summer. So without further ado, who's ready to watch a movie? Awesome. All right, so we're going to play this. We haven't done a sound check, so I don't know if it's either going to be like blaring loud or no audio, so we'll hope for the best. Nope. Here we go. Got it. We have she's doing it from back there.
I'm Annie Sainville. I went to Smith College, just graduated this May, and I was a geoscience major and a government minor. Currently, I'm working on a project that focuses on really, really slow earthquakes. I'm working in the southern part of the Cascadia subduction zone, and I'm trying to catalog these really slow earthquakes and see how they are affected by larger normal earthquakes. Well, currently I'm using a software called MATLAB. I wasn't really too good at MATLAB when I first got here, but I'm learning a lot about it, and I find that working on this project, I can hone my skills. My interest in the geosciences started, I'd say, when I was 14. I went to a glacier, and I spent 2 weeks with a program called Girls on Ice, a program that takes girls like me from places that are not as privileged, and they take them to a glacier, and you look around, and you ask questions, and you study the morphology there. In high school, I ran track, and I was also part of the New York City crew team called Row New York. Being a part of a crew team really taught me how to find my own voice, actually. I sat in stroke seat, which is one of the best seats you can sit in, really. And basically, you're leading the entire team through the finish line. You're setting the pace. I like the freedom and the independence of college. I had really small classes, and I could do a lot of research with all of the people in my department, so I took advantage of that. First got to college, I remember thinking that I couldn't really speak up because, you know, I come from such a different background as many people in my school, and I was afraid. But later on, I found my voice. So my grandmother moved to this country in the 80s, and she really valued education. She didn't have the opportunity to go to college, and she had to really work at home in Haiti, and I always knew that I would make her proud. I would tell a high school junior to not be afraid to study what they want to study, and I would encourage them to take a lot of their math courses seriously because it helps. Well, now that I'm a post-grad, I want to pursue a graduate degree, hopefully a PhD. So I would love to be Dr. Stainville eventually. I know with a geoscience background, it's very broad, and I could really apply myself anywhere to solve any problem. So.
All right, if you guys are interested in any more videos like that, be sure to check out the series whenever it's published on YouTube. Okay, and then this is the last video we're going to show. So there's going to be a bunch of different topics covered. So for interns and mentors, see if you can find the field that you work in.
You may not know it, but the study of geodesy probably impacts your everyday life. Now I know what you're thinking. What is geodesy? Geodesy is a field of science concerned with measuring three properties of Earth: its shape, its orientation in space, and its gravity field. These properties change over time, so it's important that scientists are keeping tabs on Earth's overall position, as well as the position of its major parts, such as continents, oceans, ice sheets, volcanoes, and more. High-precision GPS instruments can record millimeter-scale movements, even over long time frames, which enables scientists to detect seemingly small changes to Earth's major features, small changes with potentially hazardous consequences. So now that we understand how we obtain this data using geodesy, let's take a look at how we apply these tools in everyday life. The accumulation of magma in the shallow chamber below volcanoes causes the Earth's surface to actually inflate, deflate, and deform with changes in volume. By monitoring ground deformation in active volcanic zones, we can begin to understand the complex plumbing that lies below volcanic features, and hopefully forecast volcanic eruptions. Believe it or not, the Earth's surface also moves up and down during periods of drought. When water is present at or below the surface, the weight pushes the ground downwards, but when this water disappears, the surface begins to rebound. Entire mountain ranges like the Sierra Nevada grow and shrink by several millimeters just from changes in water. High-precision GPS and remote sensing can be used to monitor these small changes and in turn monitor drought progression and recovery. Geodesy is also used to monitor polar ice. Scientists use a variety of tools, including GPS and LIDAR, which stands for light detection and ranging. LIDAR is a remote sensing technique that uses a pulsed laser to measure distances between the laser source and the Earth's surface. By isolating various data points, we can generate precise 3D models with a range of applications. In this case, we can monitor changes in glacier speeds, depth, and extent. Satellite measurements can be used in a number of ways to better understand and respond to devastating earthquakes across the globe. For example, geodesy can be used to quantify ground surface ruptures and identify rockfall hazards. Additionally, remote sensing can be used to detect communities that suffered the greatest damage and deliver aid resources by priority. Geodesy can also aid in the response to man-made disasters like oil spills. Using remote sensing technology, we can detect oil spills in real time, hopefully preventing some serious ecological damage. GPS data allow optical remote sensing information to be linked with geospatial data, so so scientists know exactly where an oil spill has occurred and how best to clean it up. Satellites and remote sensing also have uses in agriculture and forestry. Using this technology, scientists can analyze vegetated areas to assess the overall health of the plants and the soil. We can observe the visible and near-infrared wavelengths reflected by plants to determine the chlorophyll content. In addition, a specialized NASA satellite has been deployed that can measure soil moisture from space. These data produce global soil moisture maps that help us better understand the health of our world's fertile lands. GPS provides another essential service to society: timing. GPS satellites contain atomic clocks, which can relay super accurate time information to people who need it most. World financial markets, power grids, and hazard communication systems all rely on GPS data for precise timekeeping. GPS systems are key to safe navigation, and with the world of autonomous vehicles on the horizon, the precision and reliability of GPS nav systems is paramount. Personal vehicles and commercial fleets will rely on this information to determine their location and their position relative to other objects on the road. Last but not least, geodesy is also used to measure gravity. When the mass of an object increases, the gravitational attraction of that object increases as well. And because Earth's surface is not uniform, neither is its gravitational attraction. NASA has deployed 2 satellites that orbit the Earth in unison. In response to variations in Earth's gravity field, the distance between these 2 satellites will change, allowing scientists to measure Earth's gravity anomalies. These precise measurements of our planet's gravity are used to determine global sea level, an extremely important reference used in everything from construction to climatology. So these are just a few of the ways that geodesy plays a role in our everyday life. If you're interested in learning more about geodesy, be sure to check out the UNAVCO YouTube channel and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.
All right, so that's what we've been up to over at Intern Island. So definitely feel free to come by and visit us before we leave the island. Give us some feedback on these videos. We'd love to hear what you guys think.
Big thank you to everyone who helped us this summer. Beth, been such an inspiration. Dan, it's been awesome working with you as well, and everyone else who's made these internship programs possible. NSF, NASA, can't forget about you.
Thanks, guys.